the scopus. Getting same message by staying in meeting. You can got it. So everyone is looking for scopus. Everyone is looking for Web of Science, SCI, ABDC, ABS category journal. But what problems we are facing when we are trying to send the paper or when we are getting some review from the reviewer point of view? So a lot of problems we are having. Why the paper have been rejected, where we have to or we need to improve. This is most important. In Indian researcher, they are always looking for scopus. All the Indian researchers, those who are working in academic industry or those who are pursuing PhD, they are always looking for scopus journal. So we should understand the importance of the scopus. We should understand the importance of Web of Science. We should understand the why indexing is important. UGC care list, scopus, Web of Science, ESCI, ABDC, ABS. So we have to understand their importance. What are the importance and why we have to publish? If I'm not publishing, suppose we are working in academic industry, but we are not publishing anything. We are not publishing anything, or we are not making, or we are not preparing any paper to publish from very good journal and other also, or very good book chapter also. If I'm talking about Springer, if I'm talking about Apple Academic Press, if I'm talking about Emerald, if I'm talking about Taylor and Francis. As ma'am was given the introductions about me, I have been associated as an editor of 2 books which would be published from Apple Academic Press under Taylor and Francis group. So what actually, as an editor, what actually we are looking for, the good journal. Sorry, we are looking for the good paper, quality paper. Because of, as you know, that Apple Academic Press means Taylor and Francis group, they are always looking for the quality paper. So now the questions are coming, how to improve and where you have to improve. Why the paper is rejected and where we have to improve. If the paper is rejected from their end, why? If the paper is rejected from the DEX, why? So what are the importance and how to write the paper in a proper manner? Because of the last time my one paper have been accepted. The last time in the sense just before few days ago, one paper have been accepted in a good journal, that was management journal, good journal, after getting 4-time reviews. Frankly speaking, we have received 4-time reviews from the editor. According to the reviews, we changed, we edited. Then just a few days ago, the paper have been accepted. So try to understand what I'm telling you, and the journal which under the Scopus database. So why I'm telling you, because of we know that the publication is very, very important. But the problem, what problems we are facing, how to write and where we need to improve. How to write the paper in a proper way. And what reviewer and the editor is looking for. So today I'll be showing what presentations I'll be giving, what actually editor and reviewer is looking for, and where we have to improve. The modern pattern, modern paper style, we have to understand what the editor is looking for, what are the journal criteria, what their guidelines, and how to improve and where you need to improve. So everyone, those who are working in academic industry, we know that NIRF ranking or NAC ranking or UGC ranking, they are basically looking for the quality paper. The quality paper, who will be doing this? Who will be preparing the quality paper? Definitely faculty. Faculty and scholar and the student also. They can jointly make or prepare some paper along with the faculty. Or faculty can prepare the paper along with their scholar. Faculty will guide to the scholar where they need to improve, where they has to improve, how to improve. So basic thing is we have to understand how to arrange the paper in a proper way. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir. Please.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just sharing the screen. Before starting the session, I would like to thanks to all the team members of Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management who have invited me, the principal and Dr. Anubroto sir, has given this opportunity to give some ideas and to say something about the academic journal. What are the importance of the academic journal? Thanks to all the team members of Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management. I'm really happy to see all the audience who are presented over here. Hope you will get some ideas about it. And after taking the sessions, if you are having any questions, so please feel free to ask. I'll be happy to give the answer. So everyone, are you getting the screen?
Yes, sir. It is visible. Yes. Please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. So first of all, before starting, because of today's session is the mandatory requirement for writing a research paper from the reviewer perceptions. This is very important for everyone. You have to understand what reviewer is looking for, why the paper is rejecting, or whether the paper have been rejected from there. So it is very, very important for everyone. You have to understand what are the importance and why and what kind of like content is looking for from the reviewer point of view or reviewer perceptions. So academic journal, first of all, you have to understand the meaning of the academic journal. What is the meaning of academic journal? Just a minute. What is academic journal and what is it? The academic journal, because of always we are looking for the journal, always we are looking for the quality journal, always we are looking for the academic journal where we have to publish, what kind of journals are available to publish that kind of paper, and what is the concept of the special issue and what kind of papers we'll be sending over there. So at least as an academic or as an academicians, we have to understand the meaning of the academic journal. The journal is a French word that means something recent, updated, daily. An academic journal is an outlet or platform to publish latest cutting-edge research in a particular field. Might be you are from the medical background, or someone from, or some of the researcher from the engineering background, or some of the researcher from management background, or the computer science background. So particular in their field, they will publish or they has to publish their paper in academic journal. A distinguishing characteristics of academic journal is scientific filter. Because of before publishing, so definitely as an author, you have to understand where you have to publish your paper. So now you are filtering. Now you are filtering where you have to publish. If you are publishing, suppose your background is medical, or suppose your background is computer science, or your disciplines is artificial intelligence. So now definitely you will be trying to publish your paper in artificial intelligence related journal under the computer science field. So now you are filtering how many journals related to artificial intelligence. Might be the journal will be coming from the good publishers or may not be good publishers. So your journal will be coming from Sage, MRL. So you are trying to filtering this, right? So where you have to publish your paper. So this is the concept of the scientific filter. Historically, the first academic journal, Philosophical Transaction of the Royal Society, started to publish in 1665, more than 350 years ago, with a core aim to facilitate research-based communications. Since then, the journal served several purposes outlined text. So it was in 1665 where the academic journal seen. So more than 350 years ago. So what purpose is an academic journal seen? Register and authors claim that she or he is presented an innovative idea. Definitely, when you are publishing your paper or when you are trying to publish your paper, you will get one copyright form where you have to register yourself. You'll be writing or you'll be filling the form. This is my paper, this is the title of the paper, and this is the discipline and the number of authors, and all the authors has to sign over there. Then there you will be submitting your copyright form. So you are registering yourself as an author, or when you will be publishing your paper, suppose you are having a journal, like you are trying to publish your paper in management journal. Now you have to register yourself as an author. Then you will get some options, how to publish or how to submit the paper, right? So there are rules and regulations and their guidelines we have to follow as an author. Then we'll be submitting the paper. So as an author, we have to register ourselves, means just you have to create your own account in the particular journal. If they're having these options, you have to create your account from your end. Then you'll be submitting your paper according to their guidelines. Acknowledgement of that author claims are scientifically corrected through a reliable peer review system. Definitely, as already I was telling, when you'll be submitting your paper, after completing the review, means suppose you are getting 3 to 4 times reviews from the reviewer point of view or from the editor. Now editor will be sending the review to you and then you have to change. So after completing all the review, now they will be sending the copyright form. If some of the journals they are sending before review, some of the journals they will be sending after review. It is depends on the journal body when they will be sending the copyright form. So when you are filling the copyright form, means it is your, and now you are filling the copyright, and the copyright will be taking from the journal body, by the journal body. And the journal, now the journal body is having some responsibility to take care of this. So that's why just you are filling the copyright form. The availability of a systematic and permanent record for author contributions that readers can access whenever they need it. Yes, because of after filling the copyright, when the journal would be published your paper, if they are trying to publish, means all the process have done from author end as well as the journal body end. Now what they will be doing? Now they will be doing for public. They will be going for the publications. So now they will be sending the soft copy of your article, right? The paper have been published in this issue and in this volume. Now you are getting the soft copy from the journal body and they will be uploading online. So anytime the author can access the soft copy, if how to access, because of when the author is registering his or herself, right? So they will be giving the username and password, and with the help of username and password they can access, author can access their soft copy if they want. But what journal body is doing before this, after publication, so journal body will be sending the soft copy in your mail ID. The post-publications evaluation that positively enhances author credibility. The journals are data sharing platform for scientists. So definitely, the journal body is uh, just a minute. Am I audible? Am I audible to all? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible.
Okay. Yes, yes. Thank you very much. Okay, so what actually I was like telling, the journals are data sharing platform for scientists, because also when you are trying to publish a paper, suppose after publications, what actually you have to do. So definitely you'll be sharing your article or your research, what actually you have done. So some of the platforms are there where you can share, where you can communicate, right? Suppose if you're having the account in LinkedIn, so you can share your article on LinkedIn, right? Because of, suppose you are having very good network, and the author will get some, and some of the scientists and the researcher will get some idea what actually you have done in your research. So that's why just I'm telling you. So after publications, many platforms are there, right, where you can share your achievement, where you can share your publications, where you can share your article and whatever you have done within that time. So these are the platforms that will be helping for among the researcher, among the scholar, among the academicians. We will be getting some ideas what actually have done within that time. So that's why the researcher is looking for always a good journal, always the good publications. Why we are targeting the good publications? Why we are targeting the quality journal? Because of the everyone is looking for the quality journal. Means if I'm talking about now, you can see from here. Just yes. Uh, Suppose you are trying, or suppose you have been published your paper in Taylor and Francis, or like Sage, or Emerald, or like Springer. Okay. So definitely, after publications, you can share your article on LinkedIn or like Facebook, where other networks, those who are working in research industry or those who are working in academic industry, they will get some ideas what you have done in your article, what you have contributed in your article, what is the part of this article. So they will get some ideas about it, what actually have done that the author, what actually they have done. So we are getting some ideas, what other researchers are doing, what other researchers have done or have contributed in their article. So this is very, very, or it will be very, very helpful among the researchers to get some ideas of what other researcher is doing. If I'm talking about the characteristics of quality journal, so how to know about the characteristics, how to know, how to identify the quality journal, this is very, very important. So when you are searching the quality journal, or when you are searching the journal from Google Scholar or Google, so definitely you have to understand so where you have to publish your paper. The quality journal in the sense, despite being interdisciplinary, it has its specialty, a unique selling propositions. The quality journal, how to know about it? Some of the journals, so definitely before publications, you have to verify their editorial board. You have to verify their reviewer board member. Editorial board member and reviewer board member is very, very important when you are trying to publish your paper or when you are trying to send your paper. So before sending your paper, just you need to check their editorial board member, their reviewer board member who have been associated. So definitely associated in the sense their quality and their profile. So please check, because of suppose you are trying to publish your paper in Emerald. So all the Emerald journals, so definitely Emerald is a very good publishers. So always they are looking for the quality or the very good profile of the editor. Always they're looking for the quality or good profile of the editor as well as the reviewer also. So please check before sending your paper, their editorial board member and the reviewer board member. Has a rigorous peer review that takes time to complete. No quick publications for money promise APC. So please avoid article processing charge. Some of the journals they are charging, they are taking APC. Maybe not that in, I'm talking about all the those who are charging APC, all the journals are not good. Those who are taking APC, they it is not that all the journals are good or all the journals are not good. Some of the journals they are taking APC, means processing article processing charge. Okay, if they are taking APC, so definitely you need to check their quality. You need to check their number of issues. You need to check their editorial member. You need to check their reviewer member, and it is under the Scopus or not. It is under the Web of Science or not. If it is under the Web of Science, from so here you need to check. Means suppose the journal uh, established from 2010 to 2023 until it is taking the paper and till they are taking the article processing charges. Not an issue. You can publish, but I'm just suggesting you, this is my advice for all the students and all the scholars and all the academicians. So please, at least try to avoid the APC charge. Those who are charging or those who are taking APC, maybe they are taking 20,000. We will publish your paper within a month or within 1.5 months. But you have to pay 20,000 or 30,000. Please avoid that kind of journal. If they are taking 8 months, 6 months, 10 months, that's fine. And they are taking APC charges, that's fine. You can send your paper. As already I was telling, it is not that all the journals, those who are taking APC, they are not good. No. If they are taking 6 to 8 months or 1 year, and along with they are taking APC charges, you can send your paper. Why they are taking APC? Because of their processing charges, processing and publications. Because of the journal, it will be under the open access. So that's why they are taking APC. So where you can send your paper, not an issue. But I'm just suggesting, please try to avoid the APC charges. Listed index by database that are recognized by global. Management journal, under if I'm talking about the management journal, the highest category of the management journal is always ABDC. And under the ABDC means ABDC stands for Australian Business Deals Council. ABDC, under the ABDC, A star category is the highest category of ABDC. Always, if you are publishing or someone have been published one paper under A star category, it is a lifetime achievement for him or her. It should be the lifetime achievement. So A star category is very, very difficult in management journal. So management researcher, they are always trying to publish their paper in ABDC and Scopus and ABS category. Always they are trying to publish in the paper because of ABDC is very renowned indexing, as you know that. And under ABDC, A star category is the highest. If I'm talking about ABS, this stands for basically Chartered Association Business School. Chartered Association Business School, ABS. Under ABS, 4-star category is the highest category of ABS. So as already I was telling, the management researcher always they are trying to publish the paper in ABDC and ABS and Scopus. There is another index is SCI. Those who are coming from or those who are doing their research in technology, science, they are trying to publish their paper under SCI, Scopus, ESCI, and UGC journals. They are trying. Because of, as already I was telling, all the Indian researchers, they are always trying to publish their paper in Scopus. Scopus is very, very important, and UGC, NIRF, NAC, they are always looking for one Scopus paper, at least one, and one Scopus paper in a year. At least you should publish one paper in Scopus or SCI category, at least one. But it is very difficult to publish a paper in Scopus and SCI category or ESCI category, as we know that those who are working in this industry, as we know that what are the criteria they're having, and very difficult to publish one paper in Scopus category journal. So world-renowned publishers, these are the world-renowned publishers: Emerald, Springer, Sage, Wiley, Taylor and Francis, Elsevier, Index Science. These are the world-renowned publishers. So always try to at least what actually we are doing. We are always try to publish. We always try to publish one paper under these publishers, because as we know that these publishers are very renowned throughout the world. So that's why we are trying to publish one paper under these publishers. At least we should publish. As an academician, we should publish. I know that it is very difficult to publish one paper under these publishers. I know that because of they are taking around 1 year minimum. 1 year. They'll be taking 1 year. They are taking 1 year minimum. But at least we should publish. We should try to publish one paper under this. Now I'm talking about the what are the mandatory requirements, or what are the requirements for writing the research paper for the reviewer positions. What requirement is means what content is required. Some noises are coming.
Dr. Jamakala Ovai, please mute yourself, sir.
ఇంతే కదా మొన్న ఆయన
వ్యాకెన్సీ ఉందంట తెలుసా బాటనీకి
ఏడా
పెద్ద ఆయన ఆయన ఉన్నాడు కదా.
ఎవరు
Noises are coming.
All the participants are requested to please mute yourself
ఏముంది
to conduct this FDP smoothly. All the participants are requested to please mute yourself.
అతకండి కొడతారు
Dr. Jamakala Ovai, please mute yourself.
వాడికి ఏం పని ఉంటది ఇదిగా
Should I start, sir?
Sir,
Yes,
please
sir.
start, sir.
Thank you very much. So now, what knowledge you'll be getting from here? Basically, what are the requirements for writing the research paper from the reviewer perception? This is most important, as already I was telling. So what actually reviewer is looking for? Why I'm telling you, because of, as already I was telling, I have been associated with different journal as a reviewer in Emerald, Sage, Taylor and Francis. So that's why just I'm having some experience of what reviewer is looking for when you'll be sending your paper, and why, and what are the importance part, what actually you need to follow. It is not that the always will be journal guidelines is important, but the structure of the paper, what content is mandatory, and what content you have to follow, what content you have to incorporate when you are writing your research paper. So here you can see, when writing a research paper, keep in mind that you must concentrate on the following areas in order to produce an excellent research paper. First of all, title of the paper is most important. What titles you are framing. As you can see, suppose you are framing the title for Emerald, it should be different. Suppose you are framing the title for Willy, it would be different. Suppose you are framing the title for Sage, it would be different. So that's why just before sending the paper, what actually, or before writing the paper, what the researcher has to do, the researcher will be downloading or has to download some paper from that particular journal. Then they will arrange the paper and they will see how to write the title and what type of title they have framed. See their title guidelines, see their title, how to frame the title. And so definitely we'll get some ideas of how to frame and what title they have framed. And under title, what keywords they have used. This is most important for a researcher. Next one is abstract keywords. Under the introduction, as we know that now the system system, the structure of the structure or the structure of the paper have changed. So change in the sense where you have to write the objective under the introduction sections. Next, the literature review. Under the literature review, where you have to find the research gap. Next, the research methodology, data analysis, conclusions, and the implications of your study. If you are writing your research paper, you should give the implications, why you are doing this research, why you are preparing, why we have made that kind of research industry. So the implications of the research is very, very important. All the reviewer will be looking for this. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Actually, there was some network issue.
Okay, okay.
Now are you getting the screen, everyone? Title of the paper, abstract, keywords. Are you getting?
Yes, sir. Screen is visible, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. So, managerial implication, I was telling what is the importance of the implications. Next one is theoretical implications. So, if some of the journals, they are having the guidelines, so you have to incorporate the theoretical implications. So before writing, so you should follow their guidelines. If the theoretical implications is required, you should incorporate the theoretical implications. If the theoretical implications is not required, don't write. Don't incorporate the theoretical implications in your research or in your paper. Limitations and future scope, and the last one is reference. Here you can see how to frame the title. So your title should be very unique, specific, crisp, straight, no complicated English, and no grammatical mistake. When you are framing the title. So now so now it so now it is a simple or
Sir, actually, we can't hear properly, sir, due to network issues, sir.
All the participants are requested to please stay tuned. Due to some network issue, our today's speaker is actually unavailable. Hope he will join soon. So it is our request, please, all the participants, please stay tuned. Today's speaker, Dr. Indrajit Ghoshal, will be actually join very soon. All the participants are requested to please stay with us. Due to some network issue, today's speaker will be actually unable to join now. Uh, he will join within 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, please stay with us.
Producer said already joined, sir.
Thank you very much. Actually,
Uh,
so like
okay.
I was having some network
Gopal
issue.
said
I was,
kindly make the side co-host.
yeah, I was having some network issue actually because of Kolkata is too far distance from Jaipur.
Okay, okay, okay. Sir. No issues.
Thank you. Thanks for understanding. Just a minute. I'm getting some problem. Could you
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
permit for to share the screen, please?
Yes, yes. Just a minute.
Yeah, yeah. Now it's fine. Now it's fine. Now it's fine. Yeah. Hopefully, you are getting the screen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So, please, everyone, see that particular slide. Why I'm telling you, because of this part is very, very important. As already I was telling, what reviewer is looking for. This part is very, very important when you are framing the title. So your title should be, I was already telling, your title should be very unique, specific, and crisp. So no grammatical mistake. So please, when you are framing your title, you just keep in your mind, this parameter is very, very important regarding your research article. As we know that basically there are three types of research paper. One is empirical or quantitative, qualitative, and empirical. Sorry, review paper. So when you are framing your empirical paper, means suppose you are going for some investigations, you are taking some data, you are making some analysis. So where you have to define at least one variable, that is your independent variable or the dependent variable. We have to understand because of those who are working or those who are preparing some research paper, or those who are working in this industry, those who are having the ideas about the research methodology, they know what is independent variable and which one is dependent variable. So when you are framing your title, try to add your dependent or the independent variable in your title. Here you can see I have framed one title, that is a study on demographic influence of consumers on purchase decisions for life insurance policy. So here you can see I have framed two variables, that is one is dependent variables, that is purchase decisions, which already I have mentioned here under my title, and independent variables, that is demographic influence, which already I have mentioned here. So what title I have framed here? A study on demographic influence of consumers on purchase decisions for life insurance policy. So when I'm framing the title where I have already mentioned the independent variable, this one, demographic influence, means the demographic variables, which variables will come, which variables will impact, might be gender, age, income, these kind of variables, or your purchase decisions. So your purchase decisions depends on some independent variables, means what impact will come, what impact will come on that particular variable. So that's why I'm framing the dependent, or I'm identifying the dependent and independent variable from this title. Now, if I'm talking about another title, here you can see, as already I was telling, you can frame the title as a question format. Here you can see some of the journals, I'm just telling you, like Wiley, they are looking for the title like question format. Not that in Wiley, Prabandhan Journal of Indian Management, hopefully some of the researchers, those who have presented over here, they heard about it, like the Prabandhan Journal of Indian Management, Prabandhan Journal of Indian Marketing, where you can frame your title as a question format. Online buyers' word of mouth is meaningful. Does online review change the pre-purchase intention on fashion accessory segment? Here you can see I have framed one title as a question format. So what actually I'm getting from here, the dependent variable is purchase intention. So purchase intention is my dependent variable, which already I have mentioned here, right? Purchase intention, and purchase intention depends on some other parameters, right? Why you are buying this product. So your decisions depends on some other parameters. So these parameters would be the independent variables. Where you can from here, you can get some ideas about it, because I'm talking about the empirical paper only. So where you can frame the title is very, very important, and not that in empirical, qualitative, and review paper, the title is most important, because of every reviewer and the editor is looking for the quality title and what title you have framed. Next one is, if I'm talking about the qualitative paper, where the title is where the independent and dependent variable is not required. Here you can see I have framed one title, that is why older consumers prefer older brands, why digital consumers don't prefer digital wallets. So I framed that kind of title. This is all about the qualitative paper where the variable is not required, means dependent and independent variable is it is not required, you have to define when you are framing the title. But in empirical paper, try to incorporate for your better improvement. Now I'm talking about the abstract. So when you are framing the abstract, please follow one method, that is IMRAD style. This is most important for the reviewer, for the researcher. Okay, because of reviewer, when will be review your paper, they are looking for this part. As we know that 200 to 250 words are standard for abstract preparing when you are preparing your abstract. Maximum journals they are looking for their abstract in between 200 to 250 words. So what method you need to follow? The first one is introduction, methodology, result, analysis, and discussions. So already from here you will get some ideas which part is introductions. Already I have mentioned here these 3 to 4 lines when you are writing or when you are studying. So these 3 to 4 lines is very, very important for the introduction sections. I've already highlighted with red mark. Next word is methodology. These 3 lines, 2 to 3 lines. It is not required. So 3 lines you have to incorporate. No, not required. 2 lines, 3 lines, whatever. But try to incorporate in between 200 to 250. Next one is result. What results you are getting. And this is the discussion sections. Hope we are getting a free one because of it is very, very important when you are preparing your abstract. Next one is introductions. As already I have shown, here you can see when you are writing the introductions as before introductions. So definitely after preparing the abstract, the keyword is very, very important. So try to incorporate the keyword in between 4 to 6, not more than 6. In between 4 to 6, and your keyword should be very, very unique. Very unique. Here you can see this is my paper. The paper, the last time the paper have published from Sage, FIIB Business Review. So as you know that this journal is very renowned. It is under Scopus, ABS, Web of Science, and UGC. 4 indexing they are covering basically right now, and their site score is very high right now. It's 3 point something or 4 point something. Okay, so they are doing good. FIB Business Review is very good journal under the Sage publications, where you can send your paper, but they will take around 1 year minimum for review and all the things. So here you can see I have added some keywords, so which already I was telling you, already I have shared. So in between 4 to 6 keywords is maximum. I'm talking about the introductions. When you are framing the introductions, so please incorporate the maximum citations here. Here you can see from this paper, what actually we are getting. Here you can see when you are starting the introductions. The introduction means suppose you are writing your paper, right? Or suppose you are giving your introductions. So when you are giving your introduction, so you have to like tell about yourself, right? Who am I? This is most important. So I have to introduce myself. So introduction when you are writing your paper. So introduction in the sense introduction your research, right? Introduction your research, and the research means your like where you will be incorporating some philosophy, where you'll be incorporating some content, where you'll be incorporating some citations also, right? Some of the context you are getting from internet, some of the context you are getting or you are taking from other journal also, right? So please cite. Don't avoid the citations. If you are not adding the citation in a proper way, reviewer will reject your paper. They will not accept your paper. So citation is very, very important from where you are taking the data or the statement. So here you can see I have added more number of citations here in every line. Here you can see means whatever you are taking, what statements you are taking or what statements you are adding, so please cite. Now, under the introduction, where you have to frame the objective, as already I have mentioned here, introduction, this is the introduction part. It is under the introductions. So right now, right now, as already I was telling, right now the pattern have been changed. Means now the reviewer and the maximum journals, they are looking for the objective you have to frame under the introduction section. I'm just talking about before 10 years ago, right? Where you have to define the objective in a proper way, like proper in the sense you have to mention the caption, right? Like objectives, and under this you have to like write the objective number wise. Number one, this, number two, this objective, number three. Suppose in your research there are 3 objectives. So how to frame the objective? I'm talking about before few years ago, right? So there was a concept of there was like there was a concept of the objective. When you are framing the objective, you have to define along with the number. You have to define the objective along with the number. Means number 1, number 2, number 3. If you are having 3 objectives, but right now all the objectives you have to incorporate under the introduction section. So it is not required you have to define in a other way. No. Or you have to mention you have to write the captions like objectives, then you have to define all the objectives one by one. No, now right now it has been changed. As already I was telling, the patterns have been changed. So where you have to incorporate the objective under the introductions, but where you have to incorporate before the last para of the introductions. Here you can see this is my last para. This is my last paragraph of the introductions. Before that, before that, I have framed the objective. How? As already I was telling, you can frame the objective just like the title. When you are framing the objective, you can write the objective in a simple statement, or you can frame your objective as a question format. So here you can see, this is my first objective. Is there any factor or factors that influence youth to buy the green marketing approach through web portal? This is my first objective. And another question, as already I was telling, you can frame the objective as a question format. Another question, is there any significant relations among the inclinations near online buying perspective with mention to demographic variables like this one? So here I have framed 2 objectives before the last paragraph. This is my last paragraph, and before that I have framed the objective. This is my this is my 2 objectives. So this is very, very important. Under the introduction, and you have to incorporate the objective, but before giving the last paragraph. Next, the literature review. It is very, very important, as we know that without literature, without citations, they will not accept your paper. So you have to incorporate all the literature when you are writing your research paper. So literature, that's why just how to add the literature, I'm just showing it. This is the mapping. Like first is planning. So definitely what actually you will be doing. So before starting your research, you have to make some plan, right? Next is searching. So if you're having some plan, now you are searching. So searching in the sense what you will be searching. So you will be searching, or you have to search some paper related to your research. What research you are thinking, what areas you are thinking. Now you are downloading some paper through Google Scholar or Web of Science database or Scopus database. If you're having the access to access to Scopus database, you can download some paper through Scopus. If you're having the options to access the data or access the journal or article from Web of Science, you can download the paper through Web of Science. Or Google Scholar is the best for everyone, where you can download the paper related to your research. So first of all, you should download some paper, because of before downloading, just you have to make a plan, as already I was telling. Okay, so after making the plan, just you have to download the paper, what papers are related to your research. Now you are downloading the paper, and just you have to arrange your paper in a in different folders. Suppose you are trying to I'm searching some paper through some keywords. So keywords related to artificial intelligence, keywords related to consumer behavior, keywords related to e-commerce industry, keywords related to the digital marketing. So now you have to download the paper related to the impact of artificial intelligence and e-commerce, So please make one folder, artificial intelligence and e-commerce, where you suppose you are downloading, or you have downloaded 10 papers. So please, all the papers you have to incorporate, or you have to save under this folder, that is artificial intelligence and e-commerce. Now you are looking for the consumer behavior related paper. Now you're looking for the consumer related paper. So please download consumer related paper related to your research. So suppose you have downloaded 10 papers. So all the papers you have to incorporate, or you have to say under this folder, the name of the folder is consumer behavior. So based on your keywords, make some folder, and under this folder, please save all the articles one by one. So this is the very good example of when you are downloading some paper. It will be helpful when you will be arranging your literature review, or when you have to write the literature review. Here you can see I have given one example, so how to arrange this one. So there is a table. You can follow this systematic literature review. Means when you are downloading some paper, so what data you have to download when you'll be adding the literature, or when you'll be adding the data related to your article. So first of all, year, right? Suppose you have to download, I'm giving one example. Suppose you have to download the paper from 2005 to 2013, or you have to start from 2010 to 2013. So year you have to mention, right? First, the next one is name of the authors. It is very, very important. This is a very good example of when you are downloading or when you are arranging the literature. The authors, number of authors, you have to write the author's name. Next one is country. Maybe whatever you have been downloaded, the paper from Malaysia, paper from Germany, paper from USA, paper from India, paper from UK, paper from South Africa. Please mention the country name. Next one is objectives. Find out the objectives from that particular article, whatever you have been downloaded. So find out the objective and write the objective one by one. Next one is research gap. That will be very, very helpful for your research paper when you'll be framing your research, when you'll be writing your research. So research gap, it is very, very required. Suppose you are having 10 papers, or you have downloaded 20 papers. Now you are finding the objective, what objective they have framed, right? And what gap they found. Now you are writing the research gap as well as the objective. So whatever you are thinking about your research, now suppose in your paper, you are having 20 papers, now you are having 20 objectives, right? Or more than 20 objectives, and your research gap is clear because of already you found the research gap from 20 papers, right? Now what factors they have used, what factors they have implemented, right? So factors, now you are adding the factors. What factors means? If I'm talking about the dependent variable, if I'm talking about the independent variable, if I'm talking about some parameters, okay. So now you are looking for some factors. What factors they used? Write down the factor name. Next, what method they have used? Maybe they have used some what methodology they have been used. Maybe they have been used probability sampling or the non-probability sampling. Under the probability, what sampling technique they have been used. Maybe they have used the random sampling, or the simple random sampling, or the stratified random sampling, or the cluster sampling. Okay, so try to find out this. If I'm talking about the non-probability sampling, maybe what methodology they have been used. Maybe they have been used hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So under the non-probability sampling, what sampling technique they have been used? Maybe they have been used convenient sampling. Okay, so what sampling technique they have been used? It is very, very important from your end when you are searching your paper. So try to find out the sampling technique. Try to add the sampling technique in your research. And the findings theoretically. So definitely every papers, as already I was telling, there are some criteria, like when you are writing the research paper, the major findings should be there. Major findings. So after analysis, definitely you should incorporate the major findings. So if your findings, so what findings means? Whatever you are getting, try to incorporate in this sheet. Next, the practical implications. If the paper is having the practical implications, please add 3 to 4 lines. Not that all means, suppose they are they added like 30 lines for practical implication. It is not required all the 30 lines you have to incorporate it. No, just only 3 to 4 lines maximum, or 2 to 3 lines, main practical implications. What industries is looking for and what papers have done. And the papers have been implemented for this industry. So just try to incorporate 2 to 3 lines regarding the implications of the paper. Next, the limitations. It is very common thing. The limitation should be there. Every paper has some limitations and the future scope. So here you can see I have written this. Here you can see through these highlighted sections. Okay, so literature review is very, very important when you are writing, because of literature review should be in a thematic way. Like when the reviewer will read your paper, it's just like a history. They will read like or the paper should be in a literature review should be in a thematic way. So please maintain this one when you are writing or when you are framing the literature review. Next, a research gap. It's very, very important because of every research, every articles, there should be a gap. That's why you are implementing, or that's why you are making the paper. So where you have to frame the research gap under the literature review. Don't forget it. Because of, as already I was telling, the system have been changed, the pattern have been changed. Okay, so that's why we need to follow the pattern. What new patterns, okay, is there, and their guidelines also. So research gap, where you have to frame the research gap after the literature, before completing your last para. Don't forget it. The same concept, what actually I was telling regarding the objective framing. When you are framing the objective, or when you have to frame the objective, you need to follow this. And same thing you have to incorporate when you are writing the research gap. But where you have to incorporate the research gap within the literature review. But where? Before framing the last one. Here you can see research methodology. Before research methodology, we are completing the research, we are completing the literature review. Before research methodology, we are completing this one, or we have to complete this one. And within that, we have to incorporate the research gap, these sections. The researcher, therefore, has tried to investigate. This is the research gap. This is the area of research. So where you have to incorporate the research gap? Before completing your literature review. Before last paragraph, don't forget it. When you are writing the research methodology, before that you have to complete the literature review, and within that you have to frame the research gap. This is the part of the new system. The sampling, the research methodology, when you have to prepare the research methodology sections, you have to follow this part. This content you need to follow. One is sampling design. This is very, very important. Questionnaire development. If you are having any questionnaire, suppose you are preparing a questionnaire to collect the data, please mention everything. What scales you have been used, 3-point scale or 5-point Likert scale or 7-point Likert scale. What scales you have been used, please mention under these sections. Questionnaire development and pilot testing. If you are going for the pilot testing, please mention the pilot testing. The data collection techniques, which is very, very important, how to collect the data and how you have been collected the data from your respondent. So everything you have to mention under the research methodology. Now the statistical tools, maybe you have been used like ANOVA, regressions, okay, regressions, or like smart PLS, or whatever you have been used, okay. So our tools, whatever you have been used, so please mention over here, okay. If I'm talking about some statistical tools, so please mention what tools you applied, or you have applied for your research. Research process is very, very important. Maybe research process and the time taken. Maybe you have started your research from or before 6 months ago. So please mention the time. I have started my research from January 2021 or January 2022. And for data collections, I have taken 2 months or 3 months. Okay, so please mention. It will be very, very helpful for the reviewer. The reviewer will get some proper ideas of what actually have done in your research. So genuine content you have to incorporate over there, means the data collection sections and the time taking and your methodology, means it is not that just suppose you have taken the data and you have been applied the probability sampling and where you have already mentioned the non-probability sampling. So definitely when you are framing the probability sampling, so you should incorporate in a proper way what technique you have been applied. Or if I'm talking about the non-probability sampling, what technique I have been applied, what sampling technique I have been applied. So this is very, very important when you are writing the research paper, because the reviewer will get some proper idea what you have done, what author have done, and what data or what sampling technique they have incorporated. But I have reviewed some paper where the sampling technique they have not mentioned over there. It is not required to always you have to mention the sampling technique. It is not required. Try to understand what I'm telling you. I have seen some of the papers from Emerald and like Taylor and Francis. I'm just talking about the where author have not mentioned the proper sampling technique. It is not required to always you have to mention the sampling technique, but try to incorporate the sampling technique when you are writing the research paper. Means I'm talking about the quality paper. So please try to incorporate it, because of it will be helpful for the reviewer what techniques you have been applied or what sampling you have been applied. So, and the time taking, which already I was telling. So data analysis, as we know that this is the part of the data analysis, means the research questions. First of all, the research questions, what questions are coming in your mind. So frame the questions, write the questions. Next is method and sampling. Okay, if I'm having some questions, now I have to solve the question, but how? If I'm having some questions, I'm having 2 to 3 questions, but now I have to think on that, how to solve the questions, right? Now the methodology will come. Now the sample will come, right? So who will be my sample, right? Who means will be my respondent, how many sample we have to collect, okay, and what method we have to use to collect the sample, okay, and the data collections, how to collect the data, that is most important. If I'm thinking, Joe, I'll be framing one questionnaire, so how to frame the questionnaire, and what Likert scale we have to use for the questionnaire. If I'm looking for some factor from the respondent, so what questionnaire we have to generate, what type of scale we have to incorporate over there, 5-point, 7-point, or 3-point Likert scale, what scale we have to incorporate over there. And the data analysis section is very, very important, as we know that after collecting all this, now we are going for the data analysis, right? After collecting all the data, if you are having so many data, suppose your sample is 200, okay, so 200 data is you are having, now you are going for the analysis, because the result is required, so now you are going for the analysis. Now the sampling, now the statistical tool will be used, but that statistical tool you have to use for the analysis purpose. The conclusions is very, very important, what you are actually concluding. Don't forget it. Conclusions, implications. I was telling many times, conclusions, implications, and conclusions and implications. It is very, very important. When you are framing the conclusion, try to understand. Suppose in your research paper, there are 4 hypotheses. Okay, or there are 3 hypotheses. So when we are framing the hypothesis, you'll be incorporating the null hypothesis as well as the alternate hypothesis. Depends on you, right? So when you are framing the hypothesis, all the hypotheses you will incorporate. All the hypotheses you will incorporate in your conclusion sections. Because of reviewer is looking for, suppose in your paper, just I'm giving one example. Suppose in your paper there are 3 hypotheses, right? So if you're having the 3 hypotheses, so hypothesis you have to incorporate. You have to incorporate in your conclusion part. Conclusion in the sense what actually you are concluding. So concluding in the sense based on your research, based on your findings, based on your hypothesis. If you have been framed some hypothesis, so have you proved the hypothesis? Right? So reviewer will be checking everything. So conclusion is very, very important. If because of have you proved the hypothesis? You have been proved the hypothesis, right? 3 to 4 hypotheses you are having. Now you have been proved all the hypotheses, right? Now you are making the relations. Now you are making the relations, including the conclusions and the hypothesis, including the conclusions and the findings. Hope am I clear to you? Clear to everyone? So if you are having the hypothesis, okay, so suppose in your paper there are 3 to 4 hypotheses, okay, and your findings is done, already have written your major findings. Now you have to incorporate, you have to like make the relations in between the hypothesis and your conclusions, and your major findings. Now you are in concluding all the part based on these parameters. What actually I was telling means hypothesis and your findings. So don't forget it when you'll be incorporating or when you'll be adding the conclusions. Okay, so your hypothesis and your hypothesis and your findings is very, very important. And based on that, you have to incorporate. You have to write your conclusions. The next part is, so what is the purpose of the conclusions? Tie together, integrate, and synthesize the various issues raised in the discussion sections, right? So you can incorporate the conclusions and discussions in a simple statement. So you can write the conclusions and discussions in a single paragraph or in one paragraph. Conclusions and discussions. Try to understand. Some of the journals they are looking for, you can write the conclusions or you can incorporate the conclusions and discussion in a single paragraph, or some of the journals they are looking for, you have to incorporate the conclusions in other paragraph and the discussion in another paragraph. It is depends on their guidelines. So that's why just I was telling, before sending you have to follow their guidelines. If they are looking for the conclusions in another section and the discussion in another section, so you need to follow. If they are looking for conclusions and like discussion in a single paragraph, so where you can incorporate the conclusion and the discussion in a single paragraph. So conclusions and discussion is very, very important, and based on your discussion and conclusions, just follow the guidelines and follow some parameter which already I was telling, the major findings and your hypothesis. So all the hypotheses should be correlate with your conclusions, should be correlate. I just am talking. I just am sharing my experience. When my paper have published from FIIB Business Review, where we have incorporated the conclusion sections. When we have written the conclusion section, we got 4 times review from FIIB Business Review, and after that paper have been accepted. The last time when the paper have been accepted from SAGE, so we have received 4 time reviews, and the all time one review we are getting continuously, that is please incorporate your conclusions, and please you should incorporate or you should correlate between the conclusions and your hypothesis section. Please conclusion. We have already done 2 times, again we are getting the same, means the reviewer is not satisfied whatever we have written the last time. I'm just sharing my experience, that's why just I'm telling you. Okay, so they are looking for the correlations. If you are, when you are framing the major findings, when you are framing the like hypothesis, they will see whatever you have written, your conclusions. Is there any correlation in between the conclusions and the findings? Is there any correlation in between the conclusions and the hypothesis? So it is my suggestions for all. So please look forward this and try to incorporate this one. That will be helpful for your further process when you'll be sending your paper in good quality journal. Anubrata sir. Anubrata sir. Dr. Anubrata sir. Hello. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Audible, sir. Could I take 2 minutes break?
Yeah, sure, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
All the participants are requested to please stay with us. Within 2 minutes, sir will be back and the session will be continued. Please stay with us.
Yeah. Should I start?
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So,
Sorry, sir. Actually, I just attended the short meeting. That's why, sir, I can't respond to you, sir.
no, not an issue, not an issue. Someone was telling me because of uh, okay, not an issue.
Okay.
So just mm, should I start, Anubrata sir?
Yes, yes, sir. Definitely, definitely.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I was telling about the conclusions. So as already I was telling what are the importance of the conclusions and what parameters you have to follow when you are writing the conclusion sections. So conclusions is very, very important. What actually I was telling, and every reviewer and the researcher, uh, like every reviewer, I'm talking about the every reviewer. Okay, they are looking for this. So please incorporate in your conclusion section when you are writing the conclusion. You should incorporate, you should match, you should correlate your hypothesis. If you're having a hypothesis, that's fine. So please, you should incorporate your hypothesis. You should like correlate your hypothesis and conclusions under the conclusions as well as the findings. What findings you found? Okay, what findings you have drawn or you have incorporated in your research. So please try to correlate between conclusions and findings. Try to correlate in between conclusion and hypothesis. It will be very, very helpful for your further process. I'm just talking about from the reviewer perceptions. As by my knowledge, actually, I'm just sharing it. Okay, so the next part is after the conclusions, implications. Please remember, implications is important for every research, right? When you are writing a research, when you are preparing some research, so definitely there should be some implications part. Why you are preparing this research? Why you are making this research? This research would be helpful in the particular society or maybe in any industry. So what industries you are targeting, right? So definitely when you are preparing, suppose I am looking for a research on digital marketing or I am looking for a research on artificial intelligence. So definitely when I am preparing the research, I have to think on that this research will be helping or this research will be helpful or what or where. So you as a researcher, as an author, you should understand, you should know about it, where your research will be helpful. So that is the part of the implications. So that's why the reviewer and the editor, they are looking for, I'm talking about, as already I was telling, I'm talking about the good quality journal. I'm not talking about other XYZ journal. I'm talking about the quality journal. They are always looking for your good implications part. So please incorporate the implications when you are writing your research. And implications will come based on your conclusions, based on your findings. Means I'm talking about the major findings of your research, based on your major findings, based on your implications, sorry, based on your conclusions, and based on your theoretical framework. Means literature review. Theoretical framework, don't forget it, theoretical framework is most impactful, is most important when you are writing the implications. Because of when you are studying some paper, suppose you are having 10 papers, right? Now you are having 10 papers. So as already I was telling how to arrange the literature, I have already shown the structure of the literature, how to arrange it, right? When you are writing the research, or when you are downloading the research paper, find out the implications from each and every research paper. What implications they have done, and the implications have done for this industry, for this society, right? That's why I'm framing my new. That's why I'm giving some new. So what my research will do, what my research will do. So that's why when you are writing this, so you have to incorporate this part. You have to incorporate this part, says your implications. So one is implications is most important, implications, your conclusions. So conclusions is based on your findings, major findings, and implications based on your conclusions, findings, and your theoretical framework. So implications, I'm just request to all of you, please implement your research in a proper way. So implication is most important when you are framing your research paper or when you are writing your research paper. Now I'm talking about the theoretical implications. So under the theoretical, or if I'm talking about the theoretical and practical implications. So theoretical implications is most important. If they're having these options, or if they're having this guidelines, so you have to incorporate the theoretical. If they're having these options, so you have to incorporate the theoretical implications for your research. So please follow their guidelines when you are writing the research paper. If the theoretical implication is there, so you have to incorporate the theoretical implications. It is not that the every journals they are looking for the theoretical implications, but the practical implications should be there. Definitely you have to incorporate the practical implications, but the theoretical implications, all the journals bodies, they are not looking for the theoretical implications, but if they are having these options, so please try to incorporate the theoretical implications. So now the questions are coming, theoretical implications, what is this? So theoretical implications, it should be, or theoretical implications is depends on your theoretical background. Again, I'm telling you, theoretical implications, if they are having this guide, if they are having these options, so author has to incorporate the theoretical implications. So theoretical implications based on your theoretical framework. Why? Because of under the theoretical framework, what researchers have done, you're getting some ideas from there, right? Suppose under the theoretical framework, you added 20 literature. Sorry. Under the theoretical framework, you added 20 literature. So under 20 literature, so definitely 20 literature means the 20 researcher or 40, I mean, in a paper like 2 or 3 authors are there. So they have made something, they found something, they have implemented something. So what they have implemented and why you have been implemented. What they have implemented and why and what you have implemented. Now you are correlating. Now you are framing the theoretical framework. Again, I'm telling you, theoretical framework is based on your theoretical part, means literature part. What the other researcher have done, and now what you have done. Now you are trying to correlate. Now you are adding this content in your theoretical framework. So this is very, very important, as already I was telling. So it is not that all the researcher, all the journals, what is they are looking for the theoretical framework, but the practical implications, managerial implications is very, very important. Implications is very, very important. Okay, but the theoretical framework, it is not required always. So what is the concept of the theoretical framework? As already I was telling you. So please keep your mind when you will be framing the theoretical framework, and just try to incorporate the theoretical framework in between your sorry, I'm talking about the theoretical implications. Sorry, I'm talking about the theoretical implications. When you'll be framing the theoretical implications, you have to correlate your theoretical framework and your conclusions. theoretical framework and your conclusions. Now you are adding the theoretical implications, what implications they have done in their research. Okay, now what actually you are implementing or what actually you have done in your paper. So 20 researchers, they have done what they have done, but research they have done. Okay, now you are correlating along with your paper, along with your research. Now you are trying to incorporate. Because of the reviewer will be looking for this, what research you have done, and have you made the correlations in between the theoretical framework and your conclusions or the findings also, but actually I was telling. So please keep in your mind when you will be framing your practical implications and not practical, sorry, managerial implications and the theoretical implications. That is totally different. The managerial implications is depends on your conclusion, hypothesis, right, and the findings, and the theoretical implications is depends on your theoretical framework and your conclusions and findings. So the last one is limitations. Every research has some limitations. That's why just we are preparing some research. We are preparing some new, right? We are thinking some new. So there are, if you need to check, as already I was telling, as already I have shown how to prepare the literature, right? And what format you need to follow when you are preparing. As already I have shown the Excel sheet, right? Where you have to incorporate the limitations and their future scope. What other researchers have done and what actually you have to do, right? So if you are having 20 literatures, so 20 literatures in the sense 20 limitations are there, right? So if 20 limitations are there, that's why you are thinking in a new way, right? What actually you have to do. So this is the main part of from your end, okay? So please try to incorporate in your paper the limitations and the future scope. It is the part of your article. So next one is, if I'm talking about the reference, as the maximum 99% journal bodies, they are looking for the American Psychological Association reference, means APA format. It is not that all the journals they are looking for the APA format. Some of the journals they are looking for MLA format, Modern Language Association. Some of the journals they are looking for American Psychological Association. Some of the journals they are looking for Chicago. Some of the journals they are looking for Harvard. You can access that kind of reference through Google Scholar, right? In Google Scholar, these options are there where you can get the ideas about the APA, MLA, Chicago, Harvard, Vancouver also, right? You will get some ideas about it. So how to generate the reference through APA, how to generate the reference through Chicago, how to generate the reference through MLA, APA. So you need to follow based on their guidelines, what guidelines they are following. You should follow as an author, you should follow their guidelines when you are preparing the research paper. If they are looking for the APA style, so definitely you should follow the APA. If they are looking for the MLA style, Modern Language Association, you should follow the MLA. Okay. So how to generate, here you can see already I have framed this one. This is the part of the citations. Click on it for reference type. Okay, so just here you can see, sorry, I'm searching this paper, right, through Google Scholar. This paper I'm searching. Okay, through my name you can search, or through your name you can search, or directly you can write the article also. Okay, you will get the ideas about it, you will get the informations about your article, you will get the informations about if you are writing or you are giving the author name. So you will get the full informations about your article. Now there is an options, these options here you can see double comma, right, this one, double quotes, sorry, double quotes, where you have to click on that, and when you'll be clicking on that, you will get these options. On the right hand side already I have shown this site. Now I'm just what actually you have to do, just you can copy this text. If they are, the journal bodies are looking for APA, so just copy the text and paste over there, means paste in your article. And if they are looking for the APA or MLA or Chicago, Vancouver, Harvard, whatever, okay, just copy the text and paste over there. So depends on their body, depends on their guidelines. If they are following APA, so you need to arrange regarding you need to arrange along with APA style. If they are following MLA, so you have to follow the MLA. Okay, according to their guidelines, you have to arrange it. So this is the part of this. So Google Scholar is the best database where you can search as already I was telling, not that in Google Scholar, you can search the Scopus if you are having the options, to access the data, access the article from Scopus, so you can access the article from Scopus. Okay. If you are having the options to access the data, access the article from Web of Science, you can access. Okay, but the Google Scholar is a very good options for all the research scholar and all the freshers, where you can access, or the researcher can access, and they can download the paper from here. So, and another thing is, as we know that it is not that we can download all the papers through Google Scholar. Means suppose we are searching 20 papers or related to my research article or related to my research. So now I'm getting 20 now I'm getting 20 articles, right? Based on the keywords I'm searching, now I'm getting 20 articles from 2000. I'm searching the article from 2000, last 10 years, 2013 to 2023. Okay, now I'm getting 30 articles related to my research. So it is not that all the 30 articles you can download from there, or directly you can download through Google Scholar. So there is an options. I think some of the researchers, those who have already presented over here, those were listening these sessions. So they are having this ideas. The SciHub is a very good platform where you can download some paper. It is not that all the papers you can download from there, but some of the papers you can download from there. Okay, so how to download the paper? Through URL. URL means the article link, and the second one is DOI, digital object identifier number. DOI, digital object identifier number. So every articles have the DOI number. Just copy the DOI number and paste over here. Okay, then just click on the open options. Then you will get the full PDF through SCI Hub. It is not that, as already I was telling, it is not that all the paper you can download from there, but little bit at least you can download. So these are the main part, but actually I was telling, as I have given one example, like I have downloaded one paper from Himalayan publishers. Okay, so it is not that all the MRL like paper you can download through SCI Hub or Google Scholar, but little bit paper you can download from here, little bit. So this is a very good example for the researcher and the freshers also, where they can download, because of, as we know that it is very difficult for us to download the paper from Scopus and Web of Science. It is very difficult for us, right? Because of we don't have the options, we don't have to access the article from Scopus and Web of Science. So some of the universities, they are having these options. Some of the colleges, they are having these options. Okay, but most of the time, this is very difficult for us to access the article from Scopus and Web of Science. So you can download through SCI Hub if you are having these options. So this is the last part, or the last slide from my end. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your patience, and thanks to everyone. Hope you like you are getting something, you got something, you got some ideas about it. Okay, like now just if you are having any questions, so I'll be very happy to give the answer. If you are having any questions, so please feel free to ask. I'll be happy to give the answer. Thank you very much. Thanks to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this nice session, sir.
Thank you very much.
I am requested to Gopal, sir, to end the session, sir. Gopal, sir, are you here, sir?
If there is a questions from anyone, so please.
Participants are requested if any questions, so please ask to our speakers.
Sir, hello.
Yeah, please.
Sir, I just have a question. Whether it is possible to use the experimental result of a journal. Sometime I cannot do experimental work. Hello.
Not getting your question.
Sir, in some research work, I cannot do my experimental work. I can take only simulation result
So it is
for
not,
my.
it is not required to always you have to go for the experimentation, right? It is not that always you have to go for the experiment. If I'm talking about some quality paper, if I'm talking about some review paper, so it is the concept of the review paper is different, right? The concept of the quality paper is different. So it is not required to always you have to go for the experimentation. So experimentation is different.
Then how we can justify our results? If our simulation I can take any result, how we have to justify? Am I right?
You are talking about the simulations.
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm a mechanical.
Okay. Okay.
We do some analysis by using some softwares, ANSYS.
So definitely when you are going for, when you are using some software, so definitely we'll get some result from there.
Software itself. We did some software itself.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you are going for the experimentations or when you are using some simulations, right? So you will be using some software, and through this software you will be you'll be getting some result from there,
Yes, sir.
right? So this is your partner. So this is your findings partner. What results you are getting? This is your conclusion, and you have to write the same thing in your conclusion sections.
That is enough for a good quality journal.
Yeah,
One simulation.
No, so you need to find out the quality journal. Those will be taking that kind of paper.
Okay, sir.
I'm just telling you. You are from the mechanical background.
Yes, sir.
I'm from the computer science background. Okay, I'm computer science as well as management, both. Because I have done my, as already I was telling, I have done my PhD on marketing, online marketing. So I can make the paper in computer science as well as I can make the paper in management also. Now the questions are coming. If I am going for some experimentations, or if I'm trying to make some experimentation with the help of artificial intelligence, or with the help of CNN, with the help of ANN, whatever, right? So I'm going to experiment something, or I'm going to take the data from the respondent. That is totally different. That is totally different.
Okay.
This is all about, this is the experimentation part, right? The analytical part, or this is the part where I have to take the data from the respondent, then I will be going for the analysis.
Okay, sir.
It's totally different.
Okay, sir.
Am I clear to you? Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. Any questions from anyone?
Any participants having any question? Thank you, sir. Hopefully, you are just clear all the things about the how to write the research article. That is a very important session. And from Kolkata College of Engineering and Management, we just very much thankful to give a spacious time for giving this wonderful session to all the research scholar as well as the faculty to how to improve their writing in a research article and what the steps we have to needed to and taken care of. So thank you.
Exactly.
Another thing is you having another session on tomorrow, and
Yes.
that is I think all the participants will be very glad to know that you are just giving the wonderful session. Thank you, sir, and we giving you this actually appreciation certificate on tomorrow, sir. Just
Okay, not an issue. Okay, not an issue. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks to all the participants who have spent, who have given the time. And this is very important because of everyone right now. The research is very, very important for everyone, as we know that those who are working in academic industry, right? Without research, I think after 3 to 4 years, it is mandatory for all, right? It should be. But situations are coming, as we know that. And the UGC is already mentioned, it is required. And NIRF and NAC, they have already mentioned in their rules and regulations, it is required, and they're looking for the quality paper from every colleges and like universities also. So I hope the participants got some experience, have got some ideas about it. So please try to follow what actually I have suggested, what actually I was telling. Okay, so please, I have shared my experience. It is not that I am having like 30 to 40 years experience in research field. I'm having some little bit ideas because of it is all about your dedications, right? So please try to incorporate the things what actually I have shared today for your future perspective. It will be helpful for everyone. My best wishes for everyone. Thank you very much.
thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
the So
Thank you.
today is over now. Feedback link and the assignment will be shared in your YouTube in our WhatsApp group. Please go through this. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
হ্যাঁ ম্যাডাম, হ্যাঁ ম্যাডাম আমি যাচ্ছি, একটু 5 মিনিটের মধ্যে আমি যাচ্ছি। হ্যাঁ, কি হলো?